can see some unbelievable things in football. It's why instant replay has become an essential part of the game. But a recap can't show you everything. Even the greatest plays pale in comparison to the hardships that shape character. And sometimes, what a player overcomes off the field is far more extraordinary than what they do during game time.
Say these women bat they eyes every time I ride by. I keep a bad on my passenger side. She rollin', we stay high. Shot town where I reside. Sippin' pink and smoking purple, boy, these colors keep me high. I keep that rubber burning, kush, burning, grinding, keep the world turning. Rubber burning, kush, burning, grinding, keep the world turning. Rubber burning, kush, burning, grinding, keep the world turning. Rubber burning, kush, burning, grinding, keep the world turning. Turn it, turn it.
With the world turning, never forget to live life with a purpose to be.
Mott's short punt takes a Miami bounce, fielded by Greg Reid. He's going to go.
This is Greg Reid, a defensive back from Florida State. During his 3 years with the Seminoles, Reid had a habit of making the impossible possible.
I wanted to make my defense the best defense in the country. That's what I wanted to do.
Reid was recruited by legendary coach Bobby Bowden to lead Florida State's defensive line. He was ruthless.
As we mentioned, they need the 16-yard line. Good protection out in the flat. Lattimore loses the football. Picked up by Florida State on the far sideline. A block on the quarterback, and now he comes across field, and can he take it the distance? Lattimore is down at the 20-yard line following the hit, and it was Greg Reid who was the man who came up and really hit him with a very hard hit. Perfectly timed hit.
I had Mark Stoops and Mickey Andrews, the best defensive coordinators, in the country. They always used to point at my eyes and say I had bad eyes because I was trying to read everything on the field to try to make every play.
Reid was also a stunning punt returner. Bowden's ball streak was on the line. Reid rescued it, with a kickoff return against Maryland setting the team up for a game-winning touchdown. They advanced to the 2010 Gator Bowl where they won, and Bowden could retire a hero.
Being that guy to make that play for your team is that guy I think every coach needs and wants on his football team. And I try to be that guy.
After the victory over South Carolina, Reid's teammates recognized him with the Defensive MVP title. Over the next 2 years, Reid found his role as a player who would reverse a game's momentum with a single play.
Plays. The team is different when Greg Reid is his electric playmaking self on the field.
I mean, he's one of the most dangerous punt returners in the nation, a very dynamic, hard-hitting cornerback.
It's his last season as a Seminole, and knowing Greg Reid, he wants to go out in style.
Reid seemed unstoppable, but off the field, there awaited a challenge that he would solve with neither his speed nor his stiff arm. Rather, with fearlessness, humility, and discipline.
An Army veteran earns a second chance on the gridiron, but first, Florida State loses a star on special teams. FSU head football coach Jimbo Fisher announced this morning he has dismissed cornerback Greg Reid from the team for violation of team rules. The former five-star recruit and one of the nation's top punt returners was arrested in July by the Georgia State Patrol and charged with misdemeanor possession of marijuana, driving with a suspended license, and a seatbelt violation. It wasn't the
even though a lot of students come through Florida State and a lot of athletes come through their football team, I think most importantly, I let myself down. You have some athletes that could have all the potential in the world, and his attitude could affect all that.
He returned home to Valdosta, Georgia, to reflect on his goals and the way ahead.
I was in my room and I was on my knees and I was praying. I was just like, I want to be the best player. I want to be the best player going into my senior year. Ended up being for me to be released to actually, to go through something and understand what playing football is all about.
For his senior year, he enrolled at Valdosta State, The setback in Florida notwithstanding, he had mastered his game and was assured a future in the NFL. Then, an ACL injury left him sidelined for the season.
I lit up. Like, I lit up on the field. Like, I heard a pop. I would never thought, I had an ACL tore. I broke my knee. I wasn't thinking that then.
Basically, what an ACL does is it stabilizes the knee. When you're trying to make that sudden change of direction, when you're trying to decelerate quickly like that, all right, it puts a lot of stress on the ACL, and that's why a lot of athletes, have issues with ACLs.
Determined to play again, Reid remained optimistic. An ACL surgery and months of therapy later, an invitation arrived to attend the 2013 NFL Combine.
Definitely, if you're a top athlete, this is the place you want to be.
And you're looking out with all the top 10, top 20 draft picks. And so you get to see yourself every single day against the guys that you're competing with.
I'm working out with the best of the best here.
Every doctor from every team is in there, like they pulling you every way, they check me.
But as they say, bad luck comes in threes. That's when the unthinkable happened.
One of the doctors, whispered something in my ear. It's like, hey, have anybody told you, your ACL might be tore again? I'm like, nah.
During a drill for his pro day appearance, Reid tore his ACL a second time. Despair may have swallowed up a weaker player's will, but for Reid, the choice was obvious. He had come too far to turn around. And while hardship can move some to panic and impulse, Reid remained clear-headed and snapped into action.
How you feeling? You feel all right?
With 2 ACL tears behind him, Reid was determined to overcome the injury once and for all. So he turned to Dr. James Andrews.
Football, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Drew Brees, Dante Culpepper. Basketball, Charles Barkley, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Scottie Pippen, Chris Webber. You want me to do golf, tennis, and hockey as well? I mean, how do you get all these guys to come see you?
Answer the telephone.
Athletes as accomplished as Michael Jordan and Brett Favre have sought Dr. Andrews' medical care. But when Vikings running back Adrian Peterson tore his ACL in 2011, his miraculous comeback put Dr. Andrews in the spotlight.
The biggest thing for an athlete when they get any kind of major injury is overcoming the mental aspect of it. With Adrian Peterson, it was an extremely quick recovery. And he just found a whole other way to reinvent himself and bring it to another level.
This is Mike Smith, Reid's trainer, and one of the most sought-after strength and conditioning specialists in the country.
For Greg, he's gone through it twice. So now it starts to be, can I do it? Is there still a place for me? Will I ever get back to the old Greg Reid? And I think Greg now has gotten past that.
I'm blessed to even wake up, man. I'm blessed to even, to walk again, to run again.
To the dismay of Reid's opponents, the two are working not simply to restore Greg's speed, but to make him even faster than before.
As great an athlete as he was, he didn't know how to run. He didn't have running mechanics. He had never been taught that stuff. So it's a learning process for him, and I think it's a good one. I think what's happening is he's becoming a better athlete now.
But Reid's greatest challenge, according to Smith, is not physical, but mental.
Either you want to be great or you want to be standard, and I think I realized that now after going through 1 ACL surgery already, and now my second. I know the things I have to do.
In some cases, a major injury can bring athletes to higher levels. What the ACL injury did for him was bring him to a different level of focus.
I'm blessed for it to happen so young, so I can get to understand everything.
In short, Smith believes the injuries, although unfortunate, have given Reid a rare opportunity to reinvent himself as an athlete.
I think we will see Greg Reid in the NFL. Not only that, I think we'll see Greg Reid excel in the NFL. And I think Greg Reid is going to be a special player in the NFL because of everything that he's gone through.
Nothing motivates Reid more than the nationally ranked football team he mentors at the American Heritage School in nearby Plantation, Florida. He sees his younger self in the school's star talent. Confident, eager, and accustomed to success. He never hesitates to tell them, without character, ability alone won't weather the tough times. And they listen. Reid holds high expectations for them, just as he does for himself. Because if there's one thing Greg Reid knows all too well, it's that greatness on the field starts with greatness off the field. Far away from the cameras, the coaches, and the audience, in that deepest place within, in one's character.